Well, I'm about a week away from hopefully getting an MOT certificate on this car, Raffo Belva project that I've been restoring since 2009. It's not been easy. And in fact here I'm reshaping the headlights from rather cheap kit car looking ones to a more sophisticated type of projector headlamp, akin to the Zonda, the headlamps being a really defining feature of a car. So this kind of cosmetic aspect is the one that really interests me, and the one that I've been waiting a long time to get my hands on. The paint spray there is purely to check the form, because this is all done by eye, and using the plastic padding filler to hollow out, or to fill out hollows. So it's a very gradual process in building up, and this was quite experimental, filling in the wings and then starting again and creating a headlamp that is attractive and functional. So it's very much trial and error. Of course, at the moment there's no strength in it. That has to come from fiberglass being laid up on the inside of the wing. And I'm just trying to form the body here. So this project I've been documenting in a series of videos, and this brings me up to date, as I say, about a week away from getting an MOT, and what I'm doing here is adjusting the headlamps. Yes. What's in the way?
Well, like, you've got the cutouts on this side. Doesn't really have it here. So like.
So this is a fiberglass cloth mixed in with a polyester resin. So the polyester resin on itself, the filler, has got no strength at all, but it's the glass mat that's woven in, glass fibres, that actually give it the strength. So we're now going to use this for the lugs on the headlamps. See, what I'm trying to do is just get the resin in there. I put the tape on the lens hood to repel it, but I've got to file this back so that I can drill through and get a screw head. This looks a bit messy at the moment, but it can be cleaned up. It's just a question of putting the strength in and then worrying about the cosmetics afterwards. So in fact what we're aiming for is a tidier version of that, and also this one here. So these are mounting plates, and I'm going to have sprung screws to adjust them in tilt and pan. Because it's a hot summer's day, that's literally gone off in under 5 minutes. So what I'm going to do now is, while that it's still relatively soft, I'm going to unscrew the light, because there's always the danger that it will stick to the fiberglass. So I'm going to carefully prise it away, and I got one more. Oh, I've got another screw in there. So I've actually got 3 of the 4 screws in. So if I take this one off, and you can see it has actually bonded, because I've loosened all 3 screws and it's still quite firm. So I'm hoping, with a bit of persuasion, there we go. And look how the insulating tape on there has acted as a barrier between that bonding onto the metal. So I can now let this cure a bit more and use a chisel. Now, finding a sharp chisel in my motor workshop is like finding a needle in a haystack. They start off as chisels but they land up as screwdrivers, so I've just used the grinder to clean that up. And then if I'm careful, while it's still a bit soft, I mean it is still soft, so I've got to be careful, I can chisel some of it away, but I might be better waiting till it goes a little bit harder. But you see, the idea is that I can put it on rather crudely but progressively get a really neat fixing, even better than that, so that I've got a nice fiberglass holding collar that is bonded well into the body. And you can see by this break here that I haven't added the strength yet to this. This is just plastic metal, so it's got no strength at all until I put the fiberglass cloth, which is this stuff. This is the stuff that you have to bond in from underneath. That's what gives the resin the strength. But I'm now having to reinforce around the plywood. This isn't going to be too easy. Try and reinforce around there with the fiberglass impregnated resin, so this is both solid but also adding strength. As you can see, it's not that easy to put on without it going all over the place. I do not want it to drop onto my hands, but the idea is that I just beef that up and build it up in layers really, and then file it down. It's not as easy as the pure filler to put on this stuff. It's really got a bit of a mind of its own. It wants to go where it wants to go, but on the other hand, this is the material that's adding the strength. It's the glass strands within the polyester resin filler. You see, we'll get there. It's just a question of building up in stages. And of course I'll have to re-drill these holes. It looks messy, but I know what I'm doing. I will get there, and it will be a neat job. But at the moment I'm adding strength, and you can see how messy it is. Trying very hard not to get it on my fingers, and of course also on this hot day it's going to be going off really quickly, so let's just get some in there. See, all this is hidden, and adding a bit of extra weight in the front of the car is no big thing, because when I bought the car, the previous owner smashed it on black ice when he lost the front end, and I got I think 1,500 quid knocked off the car, which was pretty good. So look, that's not too bad. I'm not expecting to get it all done in one layer, but I actually haven't done badly. Look at that, see? And that will go off within about 5 minutes, and then I can file that and then add more, but make sure that I've got the openings for the light holder. Okay, well, I'm using a metal gauze now. I'm using a metal gauze to get a reinforcement lug, because these lugs here are temporary and I want to give this strength. So I've mixed up some resin, and hopefully this will go to plan without me getting it all over the place, and that will work its way into the gauze and bond with what's already there. As I say, I'm going to have to re-drill the holes afterwards, but the purpose of this is to get strength into these fixings. Ooh, how do I get in there? You see, every which way. And if I can't get it all in one go, then it doesn't matter. I can do it in two, because this will go solid within a few minutes, which is fantastic. You see, look, see? it's like 75% of the job done, and a little bit more on there to give this a bit more, to make this lug a little bit more robust. See, it's all building up gradually.